Welcome to Exposure Therapy, and today my guest is Brent from Abandoned Urbex Canada. He is in Muskoka area, Ontario, and I'm just going to let him take over and tell you a little bit about what he does. Brent, thank you so much for coming on here today. It's just a pleasure to have you.
Hey, TJ, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No worries. So tell us, what is it that you do exactly?
Well, I do a bit about photography and videography. I started a YouTube channel about 3-4 years ago, filming and doing photography on abandoned places. So it's been a long time hobby of mine. I've been exploring abandoned places since I was a kid. And I just decided to start a YouTube channel and start filming the places that I visit and document them with photography.
Nice. And how long ago exactly did you get into that?
Yeah, about 2019, roughly. So about 4 years now, just before COVID, kind of like I just started getting into it, and then COVID hit, which I think made my channel kind of blow up a bit because everybody was at home, surfing YouTube during COVID. So it got really popular during COVID, my stuff. Yeah.
Nice. And where, I guess, how far of a span would you say? Like, first of all, do you stick to Canada? And kind of how, like, where are some of the kind of places that you've been?
Yeah, I normally stick to Canada. I traveled all over Canada, but I've been kind of venturing out into the States a little bit, just to see some other stuff and kind of meet up with other filmmakers and explorers as well to kind of collab with them a little bit. So I really enjoyed that. I went to Florida a few times already. I went to Arkansas, explored a few places, filmed some places out there. But yeah, mostly just Canada. I haven't been out to Alberta yet, actually.
Okay.
Wow. Maybe I'll hook up with you and I could show you some.
There's a lot out here. There's a lot of like old homesteader places, like from like 100, 200, 100 years ago, and nice. They're just kind of left all like across the province. There's just these abandoned old structures. Actually, I'll show you something here. If I go into here and I change this is one of them here.
Oh wow! Okay, I can see the truck there.
Sorry, that's the one there.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So there's some stuff like that sitting all over Alberta. So that's pretty cool. Anyway,
yeah, different provinces, they're all different. Like here in Ontario, we get a lot of abandoned houses, tons of them. Not so much like factories and commercial buildings, but like I went out to BC, for instance, and there's not very many houses out there at all. It's mostly like commercial properties, buildings and stuff like that. You don't get too many homes. Like I just did an abandoned mine. There's quite a few mines out there, stuff like that. So it varies, but each province is quite different in abandoned places. Like I'm going to be going on a trip to Newfoundland, and there's some pretty cool locations out there that I would never see in Ontario. So I can't wait for that.
Are you going to be able to hit up any lighthouses out there? Is that on the agenda?
Oh, some lighthouses out there. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I've been in one lighthouse in Tobermory in Ontario. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty neat. They're actually doing construction on it. So the guys gave me permission to kind of check it out. But usually it's sealed up and no one is allowed inside. But they're doing some maintenance on it, fixing it up. And they had the front door open of this place. And I asked one of the workers if I could check it out. And they let me go up. But that was pretty neat.
Awesome. I have some questions for you after, actually, about, some of the abandoned places, right? Because of, how you gain access and if there's certain channels you go through, or if, it's just kind of a ask for forgiveness is better than ask for permission kind of a scenario. But I actually just pulled up your YouTube channel here. So I'm just going to share my screen here. And I just love to show people your video trailer that just went up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, here we go. Can you see that?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I see it.
Awesome. All right. welcome back, explorers.
You're welcome back, explorers.
Finally made it.
You finally made it.
Things got the dots.
Awesome, man. So that's great. So are you like a one man team, or do you travel with like someone else, or is it just you?
Yeah, no, it's just me usually. I do kind of collab once in a while with people that enjoy this hobby as well. I'll meet up with them and go along and explore some places. But usually it's just me by myself. I kind of like, I don't mind going with people, but when filming, I kind of sometimes, I kind of take too long. So I'm afraid that if I break someone along, they'll be like, come on, hurry up here. Because I kind of take my time when I'm filming. Usually like a standard abandoned house takes me about at least an hour to film, plus travel time and stuff.
Yeah.
So usually I go in first and I do a full video of the place, and then I do my drone footage after, and then I go back inside and then do some photography inside, just taking pictures of the rooms and staircases and stuff like that.
So you've worked it into basically like a kind of a system. You've planned your place. You take your travel time, you go there, and then you basically know that you have essentially 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and 20 minutes to do your thing, and then you're out of there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say, obviously through that trailer, you can see that you use a drone. What other equipment do you bring with you to kind of do this on your journey?
Well, my most important equipment I take on me with me is my gimbal. I use my gimbal all the time when I'm filming. I just like the steady panning. I don't like the shakiness. Like I've used GoPros in the past, but they can tend to get a little shaky. But I really like smooth filming. So I take my gimbal. I have an external microphone I use. Sometimes I use a wireless microphone that I keep on my chest. Obviously my camera. I have a 4K Panasonic Lumix G85 camera. It's more towards the filming part than photography, that camera. And then, I have a drone. I just bought a new one. It's a Mavic Mini 3 Pro. And the thing is just incredible. I'm really pleased with it. It's just very quiet. It's a huge upgrade from the Mavic Mini. And it's small. You don't need your license for it. I do have my drone license, but when I was looking for a drone, I was comparing them, and the Mavic Mini 3 Pro was just the one to get. And it does vertical shots too. So if I want to do some like Instagram Reels or TikTok, the camera will go vertical. And
Awesome.
It's really good camera. I love it.
Awesome. So how accessible are these places that you go to? Like you mentioned, there's a mine. You mentioned, like I've seen in some of the clips there, you seem pretty remote. Is it really accessible, or do you spend a lot of time in travel to get to your spots?
Yeah, the ones it's like a mission to get there. I really enjoy the most. Like, I have to get on a plane or a ferry or a boat or got an ATV into the location. I love those ones. Just more of a mission. But most abandoned homes that I go into, they're usually pretty easy to get into. Maybe a long driveway, that's about it. But that abandoned mine that I went to, that gold mine, that was pretty remote. And there was a lot of like 4x4ing going in. Then we had a hike. The hike alone was probably an hour and a half and up a mountain. And then once we got to the top, when we hit the gold mine, there were stairs, about 900 steps going down to the mine now. So we had to go back down the mountain to check out the mine. And then, so we knew right away when we got there, if we got injured, we're in some serious trouble, because there's no way you could just like walk back down, jump in your car and go. Like, we're probably getting airlifted out of there if we got injured. So those ones there are a little more dangerous than others. And if I do go somewhere and I'm by myself, I do let somebody know for sure. I just share my location just in case, because I've fallen in abandoned wells and abandoned septic tanks before. Not to the bottom, but just fell through up to my shoulders kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it's pretty scary. You gotta watch, because their properties are abandoned and they're just overgrown. There's crap everywhere, right? So you just gotta watch your footing. But when I'm filming, I'm usually watching what I'm filming, and I'm
Yeah, exactly.
watching where I'm walking. So it's very dangerous.
I know I can relate. You know, I come from a security background, so I'm always aware of what's around me. But when I have the camera in front of my face or I'm looking at the screen, I've bumped into so many things and so many people and tripped over so many things.
Oh yeah.
There's a complete clutch snap. So what you bring up a good point. Like, you have to let people know you share your location when you're gone, or where you're going, just in case. What other precautions do you take? Because obviously, I was talking to a nature photographer, wilderness photographer, Victoria Hack.
Yeah.
She goes out to remote wilderness as well. And the same question is, you know, she'll bring bear spray, she'll bring something with her backpack, extra layers of clothes, you know, maybe something to make fire, whatever the case is, right? So is there any kind of emergency preparedness, either comms, like communications, shortwave radio, or first aid kit, any of that kind of stuff you bring with you, just to end food? Like, you pack food with you?
Yeah, I definitely pack. I usually pack I like those lower bars. They're kind of like protein bars.
Mhm.
I definitely pack a few of those, but I know I'm going to be gone pretty in a remote spot just in case. And lots of water. Like, there's a few times where I've brought just a normal sized jug of water, and then my hike is a lot longer than I expected, and now I'm dying of thirst here. So make sure I bring lots of water. I do bring like a small first aid kit, nothing crazy. Just some Band-Aids and stuff. And my cell phone for sure, but sometimes there's no service. So
Yeah.
in a spot where there's no service, I get a little concerned, just because, if I've ever stuck in a basement and the stairs break, or stuck in a well, like, I'm kind of finished. It's not for everybody what I do. That's for sure. So
We have a bunch of photos that you sent that we're going to look at some of the places you've been. But I'm just curious to talk to you about your photography, because in our correspondence beforehand, you said, I wouldn't consider myself an expert. It's just something you love to do. So how did you get into the photography aspect of it? How did, is there something about photography itself, or was it just kind of a natural development or kind of offshoot from the videography? Like, how did you kind of come to do what you're doing? Not just abandoned houses and stuff, but into the media production side of it.
yeah, well, the camera that I have, it's when I'm filming, when I'm done filming, I just take it off the gimbal and set it up on a tripod or handheld, and I just start taking pictures with that same camera. So I don't have like two different cameras I use. But yeah, I know, like, I kind of bought, like, when I decided to do a YouTube channel, and I did a lot of research on camera equipment, and I just did both. Like, I consider myself documenting these places, because a lot of these places will get demolished, or they're just fall over. A lot of these places are so badly decayed, they're just fall over, and then you never see them again. So I usually, that's why I take pictures of as well, because I'm kind of documenting these abandoned places, so I can look back later for myself on the pictures and the video that I make. But yeah, like, I'm kind of learning as I go in photography. There's a lot to learn, I know. And I've been on YouTube quite a bit, looking up different settings and stuff, but I really need to find someone that can, take me out and actually teach me about photography, because I consider myself a beginner in photography. There's a lot to learn, and I wouldn't mind signing up for a course or some sort. But yeah, I'm kind of learning on my own kind of thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're on YouTube, right? Like, it's the best place to be to learn.
Yeah, for sure. There's lots of videos on it.
Awesome. All right, so bring us some of these images, and just like to hear kind of the story behind the places, and maybe we'll talk about the photos themselves as well.
Sure. Oh yeah, this one here, yeah. So yeah, that's that house there. It's an old Victorian home, and it was built, I think it was late 1800s. And I actually drove by this house quite a bit over the years. I never noticed it there, but I guess they were replacing the bridge just down the street, and they're widening the road, and they cut back all the trees, and all of a sudden there's this house sitting there. And I couldn't believe it. I drove by this place so many times and I never even noticed it was there. But yeah, beautiful house. The staircase was just beautiful in there. I just remember this one too, that they had probably 5 different layers of wallpaper. And like you'd peel a little piece back and you'd see a different kind of style. And yeah, it was crazy. 'Cause back then, I guess people just wallpapered everything instead of painting the rooms. But yeah, beautiful house. I don't even know if it's still standing. I hope it is, but wouldn't mind going back and seeing if it's still there for sure.
Yeah, that's nice. This reminds me of and especially getting close to Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Any of that going on? Any spooky encounters?
Paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't really seen anything yet. A lot of people that watch my videos are huge fans of like horror movies and like all that.
Yeah, a lot of overlap for sure.
But yeah, I love horror movies. I'm a big horror movie fan myself. But no, I'm not. I don't like. There's some people that do get into paranormal stuff. I don't really do that. That's not my thing. But I haven't really seen anything yet. There was actually one house that I was doing a video at, and I was filming it, and I went upstairs, and when I went upstairs, the closet door was open, and the viewers brought this up. I never even noticed it. They're commenting on this video, and they said when I came down the stairs, the closet was closed. So that was a little creeped out there because it was. I understand if it was closed when I went up, and maybe somebody was hiding in there, maybe a homeless person or something. And then when I went upstairs, and they opened it up and took off, but it was the opposite. So yeah, that was the only really thing that kind of made me kind of wonder what was going on.
Yeah,
but I didn't notice it. The viewers.
My wife and I have our little date nights, and it's hard to find like a good show or a good movie to watch. So sometimes we end up going to some of the classics and like these paranormal caught on camera shows or whatever. Yeah. And what you say is very common. These ghost, paranormal, parapsychologists, whatever shows, paranormal explorer shows.
Yeah.
They all say that a lot of the times they didn't even notice anything until after when they saw the footage, or their audience tells them, hey, did you notice the thing over there or that moved over there? And they never even realized it at the time. So what you're saying is very consistent. So yes, you were different.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm moving on to this other photo here.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite locations. This one here. I just love the pool shot. Just there's a tree growing. You can see on the right there's a tree growing out of the pool. So this place has been abandoned a very long time. And inside that home, it's quite large. Like I consider that place a mansion. And inside, like everything is left behind. It's just the roof is caving in, and there's beds still made, but the beds are like rotten. Pillows are rotten. There's toys, there's clothes in the closet still, stuff in the cupboards in the kitchen, couches and cutlery out. Like that house was incredible. There's cars in the driveway, but it was vandalized. Like the kids found that house and kind of vandalized it, which is too bad. But that's a cool location for sure. That one, people just disappeared. I don't know where.
How, like when you go into these places, you see like a house like this, you see everything's still in it, the pool in the backyard. Like how rural versus how like urban are you going? Like where are a lot of these places just out in the middle of nowhere, or a lot of them like right smack dab of the city, or like how does that work out?
Sometimes they're right in the middle of a city. A lot of the times like these houses, the people don't pay their property tax. So if they don't pay their property tax, the town will take them over. So sometimes they'll sit there for 20 years abandoned, and then finally the town will open up like a public tender, and it's like a starting bid, so you could bid on it to buy it. But yeah, that one there is in the middle of nowhere, really. Like it's very secluded place. There's a few houses on the street, They're all spread out. But yeah, like usually they're pretty secluded. Like I use Google Earth quite a bit to find these places. The little trick I use. So I'll sit on Google Earth for hours, and I'll look at it. I'll see a rooftop. If the driveway is overgrown or the roof is decaying, you could see holes in it. I mark it on my map, and I'll drive by one day and take a look, and usually it's been abandoned. So
That's a pretty neat trick, actually.
yeah, I've been on there for hours before. Yeah.
You mentioned you haven't been to Alberta yet. I just feel like you could spit out here, and in any direction you'd hit like 3 of these structures. It's so crazy.
Oh, wow. I've been one of the things years ago, but not filming or exploring or anything. Yeah, I went out probably, like 15 years ago now. But yeah, no, I like to go out there again. You guys have some harsh winters though. I'm kind of scared.
Oh yeah, where it's like I don't know what the temperature is. I have to check. My phone's off right now, but it's snow already. And
Really?
Oh yeah, it's been snowing for a couple of days now. We don't have our winter tires on yet either, so I was like, it's like going 15 sliding today.
Yeah, I don't think we're putting my winter tires on, but it was 20 today here. So
yeah, my friend was telling me that. He said it was like summer here, and I was showing him a video. The one thing I noticed, I love being in Alberta. I left Ontario to be here, but the one thing that I do like better about Ontario is they salt the roads. Here they don't salt them, but here you're allowed to have studs in your tires, where in Ontario you can't. So I guess that's a trade-off.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they don't use sand or nothing.
They have sand, but they don't even like plow down to the wood, right? Like they leave, like they do what's called snowpack. So it's like a pack down snow, and then they put gravel and sand. So, but the problem is the sun gets intense during the day, especially if it warms up in the day. Everything melts, all the sand and the gravel falls to the bottom, and then at night it goes super cold and it freezes, and you're on like a sheet of ice again. So I've just like, I wish they'd use some salt.
Well, here they have to have the roads like bald, like bare pavement. Like they don't want any snow on it here.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars in salt a year out here. It's crazy.
Yeah. As a driver, I do much prefer that though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. Oh, is this that gold mine?
Yeah, that's the gold mine.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, it was
dislocated.
That's in BC.
Okay.
Yeah, British Columbia, beautiful location. And the thing is with that place too, once we got up to the top there, we looked down and you could see this tiny little town down below. It was just incredible. And at nighttime, you could see all the lights on down below. But those buildings, see, that used to be, the gold mine was in production, I think, until the 40s. And they abandoned it. And the government wanted to actually do a controlled burn and burn everything down there.
Oh, wow.
Because of like insurance reasons from people like me going up there and exploring and getting injured. Yeah, so they wanted to burn it down, but then a group got together and they said, no way, like this is a historic place. Let's save it. So they actually got a grant to fix it up a bit and they did some tours there, like guided tours. And they did that till 2017, and they just stopped doing the tours, and it started falling in disrepair again, and it was abandoned for a little while. And then I heard just after I was there, they got another grant. I think they got $800,000 to go towards this place to fix it up again, to start offering tours again.
Oh, amazing.
And I haven't heard anything that they've done anything. Like when I was there, there's a few things that was fixed up. But it was pretty dangerous. All the stairs were all rotten, and the place is full of rats. Like there's pack rats in BC. I don't know if you have pack rats in Alberta, but there's pack rats in BC, and they're huge. They're like way bigger than rats you see in Toronto here.
But I actually don't think we have any rats. I'm going to be called a liar here, but I'm pretty sure we don't have rats here. I've never seen a rat. I think I've seen one raccoon, but we've never seen a rat here.
Oh, we got millions of raccoons around every day, like crazy. But yeah, no, the rats here, they love wood structures, and that's the perfect home. There was tons of rats. So it was a lot of fun. We actually spent the night there. That's my first time ever sleeping in an abandoned place.
How was it?
Yeah, we brought our hammocks, and I set up a hammock right inside. It was amazing time for sure.
Man, that's, I mean, that, like a gold mine, that's such a part of our like national history, right? So I hope that the place does get restored. It looks like a place that you just want to have there as a piece of history. Look at it; it's so incredible.
Yeah, they removed a lot of gold from that place over the years. Yeah, we went right in the mine too, like right inside.
Did you find any flakes? Any flakes or nuggets down there?
No, we were looking though, but
You know, how it's
I don't know. Yeah, you go for miles down there. There was so many tunnels. It was incredible.
And here is a drone shot of the same place.
Yeah, I love that shot. That's such a cool shot. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's so nice, that place. I want to go back. But you can see how steep those stairs are and how long they go. Yeah, I think one guy that was with us, he counted. I think there was like 920 steps to the bottom house. The very bottom structure is was called a bunkhouse. So that's where all the miners would sleep, and they had showers all down there. But yeah, it was such a cool place.
Which one of these structures did you hang your hammock in?
Right in the middle there. I don't know if you could see. There's like a looks kind of like a balcony to the right of that main big structure there. My hammock was outside, so I had like the view, the breeze at night. So it was pretty warm when we went. There was a heat wave at the time, so we weren't cold at all. But yeah, a group of us went there and explored that place. We were 2 days. It was great.
That is super cool. All right, where are we here? Obviously a drone shot again.
Yeah, that's a drive-in. That was a fun place.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, that's a drive-in.
I forgot those existed.
Oh yeah, you don't have any up there?
I haven't been to one in a long time. I think we do have some here, and but they're like few and far between. The last one I was in that I went to was in like Barrie, Ontario. If you know that one, because you're close to it, right?
Oh yeah, there's one in Barrie. Yeah, and there's one near Newmarket, Ontario.
Oh really?
Yeah, and there's one in Gravenhurst. There's still a few around. I don't think the one in Collingwood's gone. Yeah, they're slowly closing up, which is sad. But I guess people don't. I don't know. I love going to the drive-ins. It's nice to you bring your car and sit in the back and bring your own. You can bring your own food, sneak it in if you want.
Yeah. We'll watch 2 movies in a row.
Well, when I was a teenager, I used to go to school. My school was right beside the drive-in. So one weekend we decided to go to the drive-in. We didn't drive. None of us drove yet. And we decided to walk to the drive-in. And they let us in. We brought blankets and radios, and they let us in. And we sat there and watched a movie just on blankets, like I don't know, it was like 20 of us.
Wow, wicked.
Yeah. But that drive-in there, it closed down, I think it was in the 70s. And it's just falling apart. And there was a big, huge safe in the concession stand there, and somebody blew it open. Like I guess when they abandoned it, it was locked up tight. But someone must have went in there and thought that there'd be $1 million in the safe or something. So they blew it open. It was quite the job they did on it. But they blew it open, and there was nothing in it, I don't think. And all the projector screens are all in there. Old movie posters are in there. Yeah, it's unreal.
Are those people down there on the concession stand standing right now?
No.
Or is that just structure? Like you see the 2 little vertical.
I think that's an exhaust vents for the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no one's standing on there, but you could see the old like little hills there where the cars would park.
Yeah.
And the old steel slide there, which you don't really see those ones anymore.
I like the composition of this one too. So when you're looking at it, taking a picture, how do you decide to compose your shots?
Yeah, I'm pretty particular. Like especially that shot there is I use that for a thumbnail on YouTube. So that's what you see if you're scrolling through YouTube. I'm trying to get people to click on my videos is thumbnails are very important. So I usually that's the most important thing. Like when I go to abandoned place, the first thing I'm looking at right away is like, okay, where's my thumbnail shot? Because, that's very important because you want people to click on your video, right? So that one there I thought was a pretty good one. I wanted to get the concession stand and some of the playground equipment and the big screen in all one shot. And you could see down below, I think, by the bushes there, it looks like it's an old satellite dish there. But yeah, that place is demolished now. They finally took it down. That one actually, I think, wasn't abandoned in the 70s. I think it was abandoned. There was another one I explored that was abandoned in the 70s, but that one there, I think they shut that down in like early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
Or 2008, I think, when they abandoned that one. Because I remember there was actually a movie poster that was, I think, a 2008 movie poster on the wall in that one.
I'd love to see a comeback of these, like a resurgence. I'd absolutely love to. That'd be amazing.
It's it's a lot of fun for kids in that, right? Like a lot of the kids, they play in the playground. I used to do when I was a kid. You play in the playground before the movie starts. Parents bring their own food because it's so expensive. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Amazing. I love that.
That's
cool.
In Florida, another pool, abandoned pool. I wouldn't dare swim in that. It just looks horrible. But that mansion there, that's in Florida. That's Osama bin Laden's brother's mansion. So the
whoa, really?
Yeah, bin Laden own that. Well, they used to own it. So when 9/11 hit, they took off immediately right after.
Yeah, no doubt.
Family, yeah, they got out of town real quick, and that's they abandoned it, and I think they ended up they sold it to a developer, I think, and then just abandoned it. So it's been sitting ever since. No one's moved in. Nothing's going on there at all. But beautiful home, just a beautiful home. And I heard now that it's actually getting quite vandalized.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it was vandalized pretty bad before I went, years prior, and they fixed it up. And I guess they were trying to sell it. They couldn't sell it, and then it just got vandalized again. So, huge property. I think it sits on like 8 acres, right on the water. So right where I was taking that shot, like behind me, like I was standing just in front of that diving board there. Behind me was a beautiful lake.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
I got a gift here.
Yeah, when we were
these clouds.
Yeah, the clouds are neat. It was funny when we showed up there. I went there with a couple other explorers, and when we went there, we noticed people inside. So we're like, oh great, like who are these people? And then all I see is this girl. She holds up her camera and kind of waves her camera at us, saying, "Hey, I'm just a photographer too." Oh, we're good. So we went in there, and they were doing like they were photographers themselves, and they were doing a full shoot, like lingerie shoot. It was really crazy. Never seen that before. In an abandoned place, they were doing like nudes, I think, too.
The cool thing I like about photos like that is like there's the photo in and of itself, but then there's like that hidden history. Like I wouldn't know that was Osama bin Laden's brothers unless you told me, and that makes the photo that much more interesting,
Yeah, that was a beautiful home.
Do you?
Yeah, I understand. People know like that's the family that owns that house, or you own it, and they're gonna vandalize it just because of what happened.
Do you do like historical research on the places you go to try and see if there's like backstory like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's very important. Like some of these places, it's hard to find. It's hard to find out any information at all. It makes for a better story, that's for sure. If there's a story to it, or about the previous owners, but sometimes you can't. There's no information, right? But yeah, I do. I look up town records, try to find out how old the place is, when it was built, who built it, if there's any crimes that happened in it. It's always interesting. But yeah, I try to do some research on all the properties I visit, for sure.
Amazing. Abandoned boat.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful environment, obviously, as well.
So that one was in BC. That one's just, I just went to that one this summer. So that one there has got some crazy history to it. That boat looks different now, but back that's a World War II ship, believe it or not. So they used to have one gun on the front of that, boat. They had a gun on the front there, and they did some renovations to it. So when it was in the Navy, they decommissioned it and they sold it off. And I think it was a ferry company. I think BC Ferries bought it and turned it into a ferry. So they changed the design of it, and they transferred passengers from shore to the island. And so they did that for quite a while, but then they wanted to bring cars over, and it's a very narrow ship.
Yeah.
It's 110 feet long, but very narrow, and they couldn't put cars on that. So they kind of got rid of that and built some bigger ferries. But that one there, a couple bought it, and they made it into like a personal yacht. So I think they lived on it for 20 years, and then they sold it, I think, to another local guy in the area, and he hasn't done much to it. But I did hear that he was going to fix it up and at some point and use it again. But I don't know. It's been there for quite a while, and it's just anchored. It's just sitting there. Sometimes it moves. Sometimes the anchor kind of moves away a little bit and it floats around the bay there. So residents are kind of worried about it because that BC is really known for a lot of abandoned boats. People.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh yeah. There's thousands of them, thousands of abandoned boats. And when people don't want them, they just leave them and they sink, or they just let them float away. So yeah, it's a big problem out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I love that stuff. So that's why I go out there looking for those abandoned boats. But sometimes they're all smashed up or they're sunk. But that one there is still afloat, which is good. So yeah, that one was pretty neat.
It's giving me the feeling of the Mosquito Coast. There's the new series. I think it's actually canceled now, so it's gone, defunct.
Oh no!
But yeah, it's just crazy adventures on that boat, I'm sure.
Yeah. Do you remember the show called The Beachcombers?
Yeah. I was a youngin' then, but yeah.
Long time ago. Yeah. So that was actually filmed right where that boat is sitting.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Beachcombers, I think, came on, I don't know what it was, before the 18 maybe or something. I don't know. I remember the Beachcombers was on immediately before a show I wanted to watch. So I had to sit through the tail end of the Beachcombers to get to my show.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing out there. There's still beachcombers out there looking for logs floating around. It's a thing, yeah.
So we're going to go from in the water to the cold water.
Oh yeah, that's a cold shot for sure.
And by the way, I love the composition of this one a lot.
Yeah, I love this shot. That house there, like you cannot see this place at all in the summertime. Like you can see the trees there. It's pretty open now, but in the summertime, you can't even see that place at all. And it's just a hidden gem. That house has been abandoned. I think that house has been abandoned for over 50 years. There's like no insulation in the house. It's an old farmhouse. Yeah, I think they had newspapers in the walls for insulation. That's what they used back then. So I didn't really do much. But those cars are just in mint shape, but just they're starting to rust out because of the harsh winters and that. But they're just sitting there rusting away. That blue one on the left, I opened the door of the car. Like all the windows are intact still, which is like rare. And the floor's rotten. And some kind of animal has been making like a den in the underground, but digging up all the dirt into the car. So there's a big mound of dirt in the car. It's really strange.
Where is this Ontario?
Yeah, that's Ontario, that one. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of cars. It's like, I don't know. I think the house went abandoned like 50 years ago, and then maybe they started dumping these cars on the property because some of these cars are not newer, but the newest car is probably, I think, a 2000 model, but the rest are really old, like those ones there. I don't really know the make of those ones. I was trying to figure them out, but I'm not a huge car guy, but some cars I could figure out, but I think a Pontiac, maybe. I can't tell.
Yeah, I can't read or
My viewers know, though. If I go back to my comments on that video, my viewers know. They all know.
yeah.
Knows what kind of cars these are.
That's what happens to a lot of farms out here is that you'll get just like a ton of vehicles like this just left out there to die on the farm. But what happens is usually they'll buy like the same, like the next model of the same, and so they'll just part them out, right? So the next time you need an extra, brake or something, you can pull it off the old one and put it on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We get that too. Like car graveyards out here is crazy.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, that one. This is I just went to this place. That shot there was it's actually a abandoned island resort. So it's a 25-acre island.
Oh wow.
And the Roman Catholics bought this island and they made this like secret retreat, like resort. It's very secretive. Didn't want anybody knowing it was there. So they could go up there on their own and I don't know what they did there, pray and I don't know, but they were very
Pray or pray.
yeah. Now there's some really offside comments on that video. There's a lot of people, but
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
We're all thinking it.
yeah, but no, the Pope John Paul II spent time there, so they would boat him over there, and he stayed there and chilled out. I guess has campfire, and he had his own chef. They took him everything. But that room is just totally intact still. Like it's just left.
Was that his? Did you know if that was his room specific or if that's
that one? No. I did go in the that was from the winter time, that one, and I tried to do some research to try to find out what room he stayed in. And I went back probably about a month ago, and I took my boat there. But that was in the winter time, and I took my ATV across the lake to visit the island that time. But yeah, there was I don't know, there's probably 7 structures on that island, and did they have it's like kind of like a hotel, right? Like it's just very small rooms. Like that's the size of the room right there. Like you get like a little dresser, a bed, and a nightstand. That's about it. And there's probably 25 rooms like that. And they had like they had a shrine as well. So it was like this weird shrine on the end of the island. It was all made from stone from the island. And I think it took them 5 summers to make it. So they just collected the stone from the island and mixed concrete and just made this weird kind of like wall. And they had like a statue in the middle, and they used to go there and pray, I guess. But it was pretty neat. During my video that I have of that place, I have a shot of it with the people on it. And but when I took took my picture, the place is all overgrown. You could hardly see the shrine anymore. But it was a pretty interesting place. And it's secluded. Like the only people going there is really people with a boat or ATV or snowmobile in the wintertime. So you're not getting a lot of the kids there smashing everything up. Because it's harder to get there, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible spot.
Do you get to for the places you go, do you get to, or I guess you choose to look back and find the old kind of like you just said, like old photos of it back when it was, newly built or during its time of use. And so kind of as a compare and contrast to where they are now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love finding shots like that. Like I have a few old shots of that place that I found. And like it shows the buildings like in excellent condition. It shows the Pope there. Shows a picture of him sitting there, and yeah, I love that. I got a few old farmhouses that I found some really old pictures of them, like the family sitting out front with like the horse. That's how they got around, is the horse, and it's tied up to the house. And then I'll have a picture, the same exact shot I'll try to do with like myself standing in the picture instead. That's really cool how I could kind of compare it, like then and now kind of thing. I love those.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. That's great. Yeah, I find I don't know, maybe this is the exact opposite, right? Like you have there's furniture refinishing videos, or I'm watching like extreme car wash videos, car detailing videos, or whatever, or any sort of thing where it's like going from a start to a finished product. Like you love to see that transformation. And this is like you're starting kind of the deconstructed phase, and then you get to kind of see the how it used to be, right?
Yeah.
There's that, I guess, some of that excitement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I really like finding old pictures of places.
Whoop, so I snuck that one up early on you. What's
Oh
this
yeah.
place?
Yeah, so this place here is an old it's an old military base, I guess you can call it. So they call it a battery. So that's where they like store all the ammunition and stuff like that. And I took a really nice drone shot of that place. I didn't send it to you, but it shows there's on that location there, it shows 3, they call it gun emplacements. So like they had 3 like cannons, and they would fire off if they needed to into the ocean down below. This is all on top of the mountain. And that building there, yeah, they had it all sealed up. You could see the windows there. It's all steel. They welded it all up so no one could go inside. But there was, to the right there is a door open, and you can go into some of that building there, but the rest you can't. But I got pictures of that place where there's actually guys inside, and they're ordering like strikes. They're doing training back in the 40s. Yeah, I got some really nice shots. But that was a pretty cool place. That was on top of a mountain. It took about an hour to get up to. It was all uphill, but the view was just incredible. So I had to get a shot of myself on top of that building. And sadly, yeah, it was abandoned for quite a long time. And then the armed forces used it for training. They did a lot of training up there. And then now they don't use it for training. So it just sits there and it's completely abandoned. And they're trying to sell the land and maybe develop it, which is too bad because it's kind of a historic place. Like that would be a pretty cool place to fix up and have like tours there. People would totally pay to go up there and check out all the old buildings and stuff. But I was all shit.
Where's this one located?
That's in BC as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't usually I never, when I explore these places, I never post the exact locations of these places.
Right.
Some places if you do some research, you could find them. If I give out too much information on a place, you could definitely find them on your own. But yeah, like all these locations that I explore and take pictures of and film, I never post the addresses just because I try to protect them.
Yeah.
Like maybe for other explorers to check out or myself to go back. And because a lot of these, especially these abandoned houses, like if you post an address, like people are going to be there within days and they'll take all the copper out, steal everything inside. Kids would vandalize it or they'll burn it down. Like it's just the way it is. Like it's crazy. So I try to keep them pretty private.
I like this image as a picture, as a photograph too, because of the leading lines of the composition. So that's really cool.
So, yeah, moss there on the side on the right there. It's all mossy. Like it's the place just looks amazing. I love that. I love that shot.
So this next one here is actually out of a magazine.
Yeah, Reader's Digest they actually did an article on this place here, and those are all my photos there. And there's a whole story on it. That's an abandoned ghost town in BC, and that was amazing time going up there. It was about a 4-hour drive, and it's just like through the mountains, and then that's an old mining town, and there's probably 15 of those houses just sitting around. And yeah, we explored that. I went there with my aunt. She lives out in BC, so we went up there and explored, and I did a video on that place, and that was featured in Reader's Digest there. But yeah, that one there, I think a Chinese investor bought that place, and they wanted to turn it into some kind of resort, but they've done nothing with it. I think they bought the whole town for $1 million. I think they're trying to sell it for 1.2. So I don't know if they still own it now, but yeah, you can see the bear down below, and yeah, I've seen tons of bear. That was the fattest bear I've ever seen. That one there, because the fish were all spawning and dying off at the time, and it was having a buffet, so it was just stocking up for the winter time, and it was so fat, that thing. Biggest bear.
Nice. So what is there in any of these journeys have you, I guess not have you, what would you say is like the maybe strangest thing that you found, or something unexpected that you've encountered in one of these places that?
Yeah, you know what? I've seen so much stuff. Like, it's crazy, some of the stuff you see. Probably the most disturbing thing I've seen in an abandoned house is probably a dead body stain. So somebody died in the house and they didn't find them for a while. So you could totally see the marks that left from the decaying body. Yeah, that's pretty disturbing. I didn't do a video on that one, but yeah, that's probably the weirdest thing I've seen. But it happens. It's just the way it is. People live alone. A lot of people live alone and they die alone, and people won't find them until later. So it's just the way it is. Some of these places I find, like I do videos on, that's why they're abandoned, because they died.
Mm.
So, and there's no family around to sell off the property or claim anything inside. Like, sometimes there's photos still on the walls, and eventually the government or the town will take it over. It's just, yeah. So, sad part of the business, I guess, or the hobby.
So if you can, whatever you're open to sharing, kind of the secret sauce there behind the YouTube channel, because it's a great channel. It has 142,000 subscribers, and you can see the little silver YouTube button behind you there.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
great. And so yeah, what I guess kind of is there a formula to your videos? Like, how have you arrived where you are now on YouTube? Like, what's the magic sauce?
Well, I just try to be myself. Like, I'm a chill person in real life, very calm. And that's how I kind of do my videos. Like, I'm very chill. I kind of talk in my videos like, I'm talking to the viewer and they're with me. And a lot of them feel that they're like with me, exploring the way I film. I'm very smooth with my panning. So there's no shakiness. Viewers really enjoy that. And yeah, and it's just, I just be myself, and I just try not to be something else that I'm not, because it shows in your work. If you're trying to do something that you don't really enjoy too, it shows in your work. So I think people really enjoy my channel just because I'm kind of chill, and I'm not acting on there. But the COVID did help my channel. I think it helped with that a lot, because there's quite a few people surfing YouTube and they're like, oh, I can't believe I came across your channel, So it's, yeah. But it kind of blew up. It's been on, some of my videos been on a few shows, and it's been in, my photos have been in Reader's Digest twice. They did a whole article. It was, I think, 4 pages just on me, myself, on what I do. And so
oh, wow. That's cool.
It's pretty neat. So, yeah, it was weird seeing the magazine in the store, and I opened it up, and they told me what episode. They're going to send me my own copy, obviously, but they told me what episode it was in, and it was pretty neat.
So what do you have? Do you kind of have a future plan for this, or are you just kind of taking it as it comes, or what?
Yeah, it's just a hobby, right? Like, when I started this channel, it's just a hobby, and now that the channel has grown so much, it's kind of like a business now in a way, because I have to do taxes and there's revenue there, right? So I kind of have to, I'm kind of like self-employed that way. I don't do it, like, I have a full-time job, so I don't do this full-time. I could do it full-time if I wanted to, but I like my current job, and I like doing this as a hobby. But no, I'm going to keep going with it. I got a lot of great locations coming up that I want to film, and places I want to travel. I just want to keep going with it, and watch it slowly grow.
you still have to come out to Alberta.
Yeah, I'll go out there for sure. Third time though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Awesome. Brent, so we have at the ticker at the bottom, as always, we have your information there, your YouTube channel and Instagram. Is there anywhere else you want to direct people to, or any projects or anything you want to mention to the audience before we sign off tonight?
Yeah, no, I guess, it's Abandoned Urbex Canada. That's my YouTube channel. That's my TikTok account as well, and Instagram. I'm on Instagram quite a bit. That's my go-to social media, I guess, for my channel. I post a lot of pictures and videos on my Instagram. But yeah, definitely check me out if you're interested in what I'm doing.
Awesome, Brent. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, and I appreciate you giving us the time and just giving us insights on your channel and what you do, exploring these abandoned structures. So again, thank you so much.
Thanks, TJ, for having me. Nice meeting you.
Cheers.
Take care.